Psalms 51. Give honor to everyone in perspective and respected places. I honor your position, your title, your place and stance in life. But we come in here by Jesus this morning. Psalms 51. Last December, I was at the National Baptist Conference in Education. I looked through all my bags and realized I forgot my Bible. I went to buy a Bible at the bookstore, and the only Bible they had was this thing right here, and it's called the Message Remix Bible right now. And as I began to read some of the stuff in there, it began to meet me just where I was at. And so when I looked at Psalm 51, this is how I read Deacon Scott. It said, gracious in love. God gives grace. Huge in mercy. Wipe out my bad record. Scrub away my guilt. Soak out my sins in your laundry. I know how bad I've been. My sins are staring me down. You the one I violated, and you've seen it all. You've seen the full extent of my evil. You have all the facts about you and me. Whatever you decide about me is fair. I've been out of step with you for a long time, in the wrong since I was born. What you after the truth from inside of me? You want the truth from inside of me? Enter into me and then conceive me with a new life. Look what it says. It says, soak me in your laundry and I'll come out clean. Scrub me and I will be like white snow in my life. Tune me into the footsteps of your song and clean me and I will dance to your music. But that's a little different twist than King James. Nothing wrong with King James. I love King James, but sometimes I'm not as smart as some of you. It takes me a minute to read, so I have to read it twice and slow. Especially when you look at Leviticus and Numbers and Deuteronomy. But I want to talk from a simple subject this morning, wash me. This is from the chief musician, David. When he got word from the prophet, Sister Clark, from Nathan, came to David and told him that the Lord was not happy with the adulterous affair he had with Bathsheba. David had penned and video songs, song that's recorded, song that's not recorded. But David wrote this one here, Deacon Barnum, and he starts off by saying, have mercy upon me. And then he said, oh God, according to thy loving kindness. And I'm so glad that David prayed this prayer to the Lord. Because there are some folks that refuse to give you any mercy. Well, mercy is different than grace. Grace is getting something you don't deserve. And mercy is not getting what you really deserve. You remember when parents used to whoop children? I know it's, when mama used to whoop and she'd say, I'm whooping you for old and new. And what you might do, the time she let me go when I deserved the whooping, mama gave me some mercy. Another time, mom just came home, maybe a payday, or just and bought me a Happy Meal, because you just didn't get McDonald's. As a child, mom used to say stuff like, we got McDonald's at home. I'd get excited and see Black Eyed Peas. I'm like, and so every now and then she'll bring something home special, and even though I didn't deserve it, mama gave it to me anyhow. That's called grace. So sometimes God gives us stuff we don't deserve, but because he's God, he gives it to us anyway. And then sometimes God holds back on his punishment or judgment. That's called his mercy. So if I had anything to thank God for, I thank God for my children, my family, my wife, and my stance in life. But I really thank God for his grace and his mercy. I know some of you thinking for your Mercedes, thinking for the house in the gated neighborhood, but if you're like the old country boy that was brought up slopping halls, you thank God for grace and mercy, because there's about 10 of y'all, and I make 11 that should have been in places that's not like a church house. Some of you should have died on the operating table. Some of you should have been in jail. Some of you should have made it out with some stuff you was in. But every now and then you got to be like David and say, Lord, have mercy. When you can't get a prayer through, when you can't get down on your knees, when you can't put the chair out, when you can't get to the podium, when you don't have time to write out a thesis or a dissertation, you should be able to say, Lord, have mercy. See, sometimes you don't have a lot of time. The car's flipping in on the end, and the only thing you can do is say, Lord, have mercy. Sometimes you find your situation when you can't call your friend, can't text nobody, can't even post on Facebook, and the only thing you can say is, Lord, have mercy. See, when people won't have mercy on you, I'm so glad, Brother Curtis, I got a God that will. And so David, after Nathan had spoke this to David, his heart convicted him. And it's so good to know, even though we still struggle with stuff, look at your neighbor and say, you struggling too with something. I know some of y'all think y'all got it together. But if there's nothing gossiping, you still struggle with something. And he had a heart that convicted. Now, if you ever get to the point where you're not convicted, you got issues. Come on now. You got some spirit. So David, even though he done all these things, he had a heart that convicted him, and he began to pen the song and said, Lord, have mercy upon me. Not according to how good I've been, not according to how many Philistines I've killed, but according to your loving kindness. God's love is different than our love. Come on now. Bigger part, I found that some people love you according to how much you love them. When my wife had a discussion last night, and she was like, I do all this stuff, and I don't ever ask anything in return. I said, well, when I do stuff, I want something in return. If I cook dinner, best believe I just didn't decide I want to cook dinner. I want something in return. I didn't just clean the house or nothing. I'm not like God, amen. God is different than us. He loves us just because of us. David said, have mercy upon me, not according to how well I ran the kingdom, not according to how many people have brought in, but according to your loving kindness. And see, because of God's love is different than everybody else. Sister Clark, when everybody else counts you out, God can still see the best in you. So the face when everybody has given up on you, the loving kindness of God can see an inkling of joy still down on the inside that he just got to put out of you. I'm so glad that God's loving kindness is not even like mine. But he see beyond my faults and he see my. Then he said, according to thy multitude of tender mercy. Not only will God have mercy on you one time, but he got a bunch of it. Because he's been so good to some of us, that's why we say now he's been better to us. Every big time, he said a multitude of tender mercies flew on me. Not only has God shown you mercy one time, but he's showing you mercy over and over again. Don't you know it's a blessing to make it to see 40? Don't you know it's a blessing to see 50, 60, 70, 80, and some of y'all still raising hell? Don't you know God has shown you some mercy? He said, this is the man that God said is after my own heart. Come on now. You wouldn't vote him in 4.5 years ago. But he's still a God's man. Because man looks at the outside, but God looks at the heart. See, sometimes we spend money, we spend time, we spend energy, go to the gym, buy membership, buy all these things to fix the outside. But when God comes back, he don't care how fine your suit is. God don't care how long or how white your dress is, how big your hair may be, how long your lashes may be. God gonna look at your heart. And if you can't love people that sit around you, how can you say you're gonna spend eternity in heaven? That's why David, he cried out and said, blot out. See, that's a difference between erasing and blotting out some stuff. But they have what's called a Sharpie marker. When I used to teach school, and my wife still teaches, and we go to the classroom, my kid used to like to write on the board, the whiteboard. I was brought up on the chalkboard. They got whiteboard, smartboard, all this stuff. But see, you get a Sharpie marker and write on something, you just can't erase that. You use that when you want to blot out something and you can't tell what it was. So when you erase something, you can look at it and say, oh, I see what this was. See, some people just try to erase what you done to them last week, but you make them mad, they can fill it back in the blank. But when you see it before God, it's as if you have never. Do I have anybody here glad God has blotted out some stuff? There will be some people hold on to some stuff you've done the rest of your and their life. But when I look at God and look at David, he said, blot out my transgression. He said, wash me thoroughly. And see, that's some stuff you can't do for yourself. And people tell me all the time, well, I'll come to church, but I got to stop drinking. I got to stop smoking. I got to stop running women. I said, well, just come join the rest of us then. You know, we still work on our stuff too. Because you can't do it for yourself. Some of y'all didn't stop smoking till you came to church. Some of you, and guess what? That's some spiritual trouble that God is washing you up right now. Amen. So you got to realize that's some things you can't do for yourself. He said, wash me and cleanse me from my sin. David was trying to get his business right with God. This is a message not about nobody else but personal examination. David was not talking about Saul, was talking about Joab, was talking about Absalom, was talking about his other son, was talking about his daughters, but he was talking about himself. Every now and then, you need to preach in the mirror. Have you ever been talking to somebody since Corrine Jones, and they talking to you, and they got something on their face? And you want to tell them, you can't hear. If they just had a look in the mirror, it could be a problem, but all other kind of stuff going through your mind, what it could be. Take that down your spiritual journey. Every now and then, you need to, before you look at everybody else, sometimes you need to look at the stuff that's on you. And I believe if you look at the stuff on you, when you see somebody else had the same stuff on them, you say, baby, let me tell you, because nobody told me when I had that on me. Let me help you out. So that's the problem. We so busy condemning folks because we rather find fault in somebody else. But if you look in the mirror, you realize you had the same stuff on you before you left the house too. So David here, he said, wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sins. For I acknowledge, you got to admit. Sister Richard, tell them that they don't hear me better, but you got to admit that you got some issues. You got to admit that David said, I acknowledge it. I don't care how many step program, how long you been in AA, how many years you stopped drinking. Every now and then, you got to remind yourself, I'm still an alcoholic. Don't get up in here because you got a suit on now, because you blessing the offering. Don't forget that you still got some issues. Look at the neighbor and say, you got some issues. You look good, but you got issues. Did everybody get something told to them? If they didn't tell you, I don't know whether you got issues, you're not looking good, I don't know which one. David verse 3 says, acknowledge my transgression. If you want to be clean, you got to realize you need some help. He said, acknowledge my transgression and my sin is ever before. That's some stuff I've done I never forget. I don't care how long it's been since I've done it, I won't forget it. And see, I make myself purposely remember them because I won't forget where I came from. See, some of y'all forgot where you came from. Because you're making $80,000 now, because you drive a Lexus, because you're the boss man on the job. Don't forget where you came from, because you got a title in front and behind your name. Don't forget where the Lord brought you from. Some of y'all hold the short bus and you act like you somebody right now. You all say, I thank God he brought me from the short bus and now I drive the big bus. Don't forget where the Lord has brought you from. I ain't talking about short bus ride. I spend a little time there myself. Brother Livers said me too, amen. Bless you, Sister Tessa. You know the wife got to deal with that, amen. You have a slow husband, that's your work for the rest of your life, amen. I got one, amen. I'm trying to help the wives out, wondering why you think I'll put it on you, amen. Behold, let's go to the first word. It says, against thee only have I sinned. See, as believers, it's not about you. It's about us disgracing the name of God. There have been things in my life, Sister Jean, that I have been embarrassed, not because of me, because I go hide in the shade. But what have it done for God? What have it done for the kingdom? They said, against thee only have I sinned. See, as the king, nobody could say that to David. Nobody said nothing to him when he slept with Bathsheba. No throughout the text until Absalom got mad. Nobody, the whole kingdom, nobody said, but to God, you embarrass God. Every time we have a meeting and we can't get along, every time believers fuss with each other, you embarrass God. I wish I had a church here. I know. It goes against the old have I sinned, and I've done this evil, not in my sight, not in the sight of Israel, because that's the stuff you can hide from folks, you know. But God sees it. And David recognized in public, said, I know I hid, I hide and covered it up, but you saw every step I made. That's some stuff that you don't got good at hiding stuff. But some stuff you delete and pop back up. Because God sees it. The eyes of the Lord is everywhere, beholding the good and the evil. Then it goes on to say, I'm going to jump out verse 7. It says, purged with hyssop. That's a plant that was a potent plant, but it cleans stuff. Sometimes it's the nasty stuff that cleans the best. Those little boy never got sick, not because time had changed. But you know why they get sick? Because I had to take castor oil one time. That's when you got sore, you had to use Cure Calm. Some of y'all know about Cure Calm, amen. Call somebody over 60 and explain that to you, amen. I mean, you put a Cure Calm on, it looked worse than it was before. And so mama would give me castor oil and cod liver oil. Brother right there, he'd have had something, he just did a shake it. When you look at the nasty, slimy stuff, sometimes it's the stuff that'll cleanse you the best. There are times in your life you got to learn to embrace your adversities. Because sometimes it's those situations, it's those times that make you appreciate God the most. I didn't get sick because I had to take that castor oil, liver oil. I knew it made me feel better, but there's some storm that you're going through that make you get down on your knees. You ain't got to have no prayer life. Let a storm come. I bet you start praying. You ain't got to have no Bible study devotion time. Let trouble come in your life. I guarantee you open it up. But you don't have to have a prayer partner. But let situation and the doctor give you the right diagnosis. I guarantee you'll find a prayer partner then. Don't you know God will make you bow down here? That's why I said every knee will bow. Every tongue will confess. So when I get to the point like David, you got to understand, David was a man after God. David broke at least 5 of the 10 commandments. David was a man after God, all heart still. David covered another man's wife, but he was still God's man. David lied, but he still was God's man. David deceived one of his very own loyal soldier and covered up the adulterous affair and tried to hide the pregnancy, but yet David still God's man. Killed this man, he was still God's man. But the Bible said that God loved him, and he was a man of God. To you, he was a low-down, dirty king. But yet, he was still God's man. How many of you been considered nobody? Everybody call you everything but a child of God. But God still woke you up this morning. God still gave you strength. And you know God has kept your family. Everybody wanted to see a demise and fall apart. And when the cancer didn't kill you and the high blood pressure is maintained and the doctor can't explain it, you know it was God. I wish I had 10 of y'all here to help me preach this. I know what he's talking about is true because God done it for me. But the Bible says that this low-down, dirty, wife, still adulterous, man, slandering, murderer was a man after God's own heart. Listen to David's cry of forgiveness. And that's all we have to do sometimes, believers. And if you stay low, God will take you up a little higher. Come on now. And so we see here in the 6th verse Psalm, it is a personal prayer, a confession and self-examination, a cry for forgiveness from David, asking from God. I want to help some of you out there trying to get approval and forgiveness from folks. Ask for it, but don't waste your time. Ask for it, do what you got to do, but keep on trucking. Because there's some people that hinder your worship, your praise, because they take you through these different levels and different phases of forgiveness. They want you to jump over a hurdle, do the loops, and do the long jump, do the 40, do the 20. Listen, I just talk to God, and it's okay. I love my Catholic friends. I went one Catholic father all week this last week, but I thank God I ain't got to go to the Father. Because I go to the Father. Because I too am a man after God's own heart. And sometimes I have struggles in life, and you have struggles in life as well. You got to remember that you still belong to God. I say that to encourage some of you because as believers, we sometimes forget that you belong to God. The Bible says we're all sheep and we have gone astray. We have all sinned and fallen short of the goodness of God. We are men and women after God's own heart, but yet we find ourselves hating one another. We're men and women after God's own heart, but yet we find ourselves stealing from one another. Yet we're men and women after God's own heart, and we find ourselves backbiting and backsliding and cheating on one another. We're men and women after God's own heart, we find ourselves committing adultery and fornication. But yet we're men and women of God, and we find ourselves committing homosexual acts and lesbian activity. But yet we're men and women of God's own heart, and God loves us all. Amen. Amen. I know you didn't know you were sitting by folks like that in here. Look at somebody and say, we in here. Well, I'm back home in Alabama, I said, we's in here. But yet, God loves. So as I help you in this cleansing process, God watches us. There's three things I want to get. First of all, you got to have a spirit of confession. Look at your neighbor. That's some things you need to confess to the Lord, not to me. Now it talks about confessing your faults one to another. It's not your sins. Because Sister Carol want to realize you can't tell everybody all your stuff. Amen. There's some folks I told back in the day some stuff that I tried to stay friends with. Y'all kids got on 516. Because if you're not careful, the stuff that you confess to the wrong person, let's around and fall out. They'll bring it back up in a business meeting. In front of your grandchildren. Oh, you know your dad? I know you probably don't know it, but look at what your dad used to do. But David confessed his sins unto the Lord. See, it's one thing, the parents, you know how God felt about this. You know when your child already done something. Me and my wife, I'm so glad Kim got a little older, she can babysit now. I start paying a little, maybe she get 18 or 20, but right now, the house, paying the rent and all that stuff for covers right now. And feeding them, but I'm so glad that she can keep the boys. And so when we come back home and we can see stuff out of order, we automatically know which child done it. And we say, who done this? Nobody confess. We already know who done this. Who done that? Nobody done that. Why nobody here but you three? And after you say, I'm gonna punish everybody, it start coming out there. We already knew. Who done it? Listen to some of y'all. God already know your sin. Yeah. He just don't know if you're man or woman enough to say, God, I messed up. Give me another chance. See, that's how I bless you. Let you stay home a little longer by yourself. I bless you a little more because if you mess up, go back to the Father and say, Father, I'm confessing my sins unto you. First of all, we need to come to God with a spirit of confession, asking God, I see my wrong and I confess. Confession is not repentance, though. So you got in a place where you confess. David went to God and confessed his sin, and that started the cleansing process. And see, you don't wash the clothes until you realize they're dirty. And I know I ain't gonna tell you a bit, but some of y'all, if you look clean, you're going to hit another way. You're going to hang it up, let the air out a little bit, shake it. Am I talking to somebody in here? Don't make me think about myself. I was brought up on regulars, the little boy. Don't laugh at me. I was so happy to get a pair of Levi's, and so when I started wearing Levi's, that's like the only pair of jeans. They started making other stuff, but I was like, I like Levi's. But I wore regulars so long, and you trying to cover up the pocket. I don't know if I see the big W on the back. So I got some Levi's, and I saw some Levi's the other day. I saw how expensive they were. Yeah. I said, whoa. Yeah. And I just happened to be in the store, and somebody said, you want them? I'm gonna buy them. I said, really? I said, yeah. And I went trying on a pair. I just started trying to lose a little weight. And I went trying on a pair down a couple sizes, and they fit me good. I wore them like, about 3 weeks straight. I just changed the shirt. Y'all don't even know, so don't laugh. Y'all don't know. I put a jacket on. And my wife and Carol, they're like, baby, daddy, wash those pants, they're gonna be standing up. And I was like, they don't need to be washed. Look, they look clean. And so, as long as they look clean, I kept on wearing them. The test, they good. They look clean. And I believe many of us are just like that in our spiritual walk. You think you're good because you look clean. But that's some stuff that's dead down on the inside that you can't see with the natural eye. So the things they taught me to wash those jeans, I sent them to the cleaner, and I can't put them on no more. And this how it is when God clean you up. He take you out of your comfort zone. And you get mad because I was mad at my wife and God said, if I had to wash those jeans, I was still. See, that's how Israel was when God brought them out of Egypt. God brought them out, but they wanted to go back in there. And sometimes God will clean you and bring out some stuff that you don't need to be in. But when our sin is there, we want to go back. Don't you know it's better to be clean before God than be in a place of comfort any day? So, I need to get another pair of Levi's and lose some weight, amen. But in your spiritual walk, you ought to confess. And when you confess, God will start. I say, I do need to wash them. You need to confess yourself every now and then. God, I have struggles in this area. It bothers me as a man of God, as a pastor for 15 plus years, leading people to Christ, and I hear folks that say they don't have struggles. That bothers me. But when people act as if they don't sin, you need to look in the mirror. David, the king, a man of God's whole heart, killed over 10,000 people with his hand, killed 200 Philistines and cut their 4 he can still say, God, I need to make a confession unto you. Don't walk around here with your holier than thou self and act as if you got it together. Every now and then you say, God, help me with my backbiting. Help me with my lust. Help me with my issue. But we'll paint a picture as if we don't see it. It's partly our fault. Look at this, it's our fault. Because the church has condemned thousands of people. These are people that finally made a confession. Instead of helping them, we hurt them. Unlike the military, the church is the only place that leaves their wounded. Come on now. Military, don't care how many soldiers down, you will not leave your fallen comrade behind. You will go into enemy territory to go back and get a fallen. A ranger will not leave a battle buddy in a firefight. You go back and get it. But the church, the place that Israel called a place of refuge, God said a place of refuge. When I fall here, instead of me getting help on the way back up, there's some folks that'll walk on you, use you as a floor mat, and keep on going. You ain't got to believe it. Look in the gospel where there was a man on the strong side, left a half dead. The priest walked right by on his way to church. You know how you got to get to church. The Levite crossed over and walked by. But a Samaritan, that's a half-breed, an outcast, stopped by and took care of his wound and left money for him. Don't you know, I may not have a title, might not have a name, but God can still use me because I'm half dead. That means I'm still half alive. Don't miss the church on your way to church, but you got to have a spirit of confession. Now, not only must you have a spirit of confession, but as David, as he talked to the Lord, and after Nathan came and talked to the Lord, but David also had a spirit of repentance. We need to confess, but confession is not enough. Confession is not enough. We see a lot of us don't mind confessing, but we don't like repenting. The difference between confession and repentance is confession means you recognize it and you see it and you admit it's an issue. But repentance means I'm not recognize it, but I'm going to turn away from it. And so David, as we rumble through this garbage of David's life, David said, wash me and purge me. To purge something means to cut away or to clean. And sometimes God has to clean or cut away some stuff from your life. And when you think about stuff, some of you already got a list of trouble and trial that you want to come in. But sometimes God got to cut some folks away. Got to cut some positions away, cut some titles away, cut the lifestyle. And sometimes it's your trial that'll get you closer to God. And so that's when you say, God, not only do I see my wrong, but I'm sorry for my wrong. Don't have anybody that found themselves in a better place because you learn to repent to God. So confession without repentance don't do us any good. Repentance, confession without repentance don't have any effect on our lives of faith. Confession without repentance don't mean relationship. But when you turn away from some stuff, that's when God can begin to cleanse your spiritual life. Talks about washing. David said, purge me with hyssop, that I might be white. I know I'm not white, but if you clean me up, I can get white again. Come on now. That I may be whiter than snow. Not only must we confess, repent, but we've got to have a spirit of pardon, a spirit of forgiveness. And unlike Saul, unlike a lot of the Israelites, unlike Absalom, David needed somebody that would forgive him. A lot of us have a lot of garbage, a lot of mess in our lives. But I'm so glad God will pardon you of your sins. God give you a pardon. That means, okay, we have forgiven you for what you have done wrong. David didn't try to wiggle his way out of it. I just need God to forgive me for my wrong. As believers, you need to have a spirit of pardon. Say, not only should I have a spirit of pardon, that means I will forgive others. The reason you must be willing to forgive others because you never know when you'll need somebody to forgive you. Not only somebody, but you're going to need a God to forgive you. That's why you can't condemn your children for doing stuff that you used to do, you just didn't get caught. That's why you can't get mad at your spouse because your stuff came out and theirs did. That's why you can't get mad at your co-worker for doing the same thing and they got promoted and you got demoted. You got to have a spirit of forgiveness because what goes around, it comes around. If you hold on to stuff all your life, you're not hurting them, but you're hurting yourself. And I thank God that I got a spirit of forgiveness because if you hold on to stuff too long, you let stress set in, ulcer set in, and you don't hurt them, but you find yourself in the hospital. That's people that they treated for heart attacks. Thought they had a heart attack, didn't have the experience because they had too much stress on them. Don't you know that's some stuff you got to let go? And I just want to have some of y'all out because if you don't forgive, you ain't hurting them, but you hurt yourself. And the battle don't belong to you no way. The battle belongs to the Lord. So when trouble comes in your life, stop holding on to it and then let it go and say, God, as I forgive them, I know I may need you to forgive me one day. So if there's any group of people, any organization, not only an organization, but an organism, which is the church, that should have a spirit of forgiveness, it should be us up in here. You should forgive your brothers and your sisters. You forgive those that done you wrong. You should be willing to forgive those that backbite, lie, cheat, steal, kill, and do all of manner of evil against you. Matter of fact, the Bible gives you a prescription. It says, pray for those that despitefully use you in ministry. Do I have anybody here that take time out your prayer closet from being selfish and praying for yourself and pray for somebody else? Every now and then, instead of criticizing, asking God to seek them, you ought to say, God bless them. When you start blessing folks, that's how God sends blessing your way. That's how some people around here are blessed right now. It's not because they've been so good, but they was a blessing to somebody else. If you pray for your enemy, forgive your enemy, and God will take care of your enemies. I got to get out of here. And as I conclude, David writes the song, ask God to wash you. As we prepare to be more like Jesus, men and women of God after his own heart, we need God to wash us. Everybody in here got some garbage that's in your trash can every now and then. And if you don't take out the trash begins to stink. If you don't take out the stinking trash, it'll cause roaches and rats to start coming in your area. But if God starts washing, and if you're a good housekeeper, every now and then, after you take out the trash, you wash out the trash can every now and then. Because even though you took the stinking trash out, the trash can still stinks. So I just want to tell about 10 of y'all that are on the bandwagon with me, that every now and then we need to just shout out to the Lord and say, Lord, wash me. Wash me from my personal ways, and wash me from my selfishness, wash me from being who I used to be. And God said, I will make you whiter than snow. And when God washes you, you realize you have a different praise. Do I have anybody here that got a different outlook on life because you got a Lord that has washed your life? Why are you praising God so much that they ask? Why you shout like you shout? Why you got joy? Why you smiling? Because I got a God that has picked me up and turned me around. He has placed my feet on solid earth. What do you say? I'm saying God has washed me. When everybody else counted me out, God brought me in. When everybody said I wasn't going to make it, God took me a little higher. Do I have anybody here that know if it had not been for the Lord on your side, you wouldn't be up in here right now? If it had not been for God on your side and God washing you, you would be somewhere in a nursing home. If it had not been for God, you would be in a rehab center. But I'm so glad that he has washed me, because when God comes back for a church, he's not coming back for a church. He's coming back for a church without spots and any wrinkles. So we want God to wash you. Tell him, don't wash my clothes. Don't even shine my shoes. But God, I want you to look at my heart. If everything else looks right, if everything got some stains, that's okay. Because when you come back, you want to look at the heart. And you look at the heart, there's a lot of areas of the heart. You got a lot of components of the heart. But the heart is the major function of the body, and it pumps blood throughout the body. So if the heart is not right, we can't pump the blood to the rest of this world. You got veins that bring it in, but you got arteries
arteries that bring it in, and the veins take it out. So when they come through those doors, tell them, come on in, take a seat, sit down for a little while. When the blood gets to running in the heart, they can go back out and tell the dying world, let me tell you about a man that know everything about me. Do I have anybody here that can tell a story about a man named Jesus that came through 42 generations? That hung on the cross from the 6th to the 9th hour, that bled, suffered, and died. He went down to a broad grave, died and stayed there all night Friday, stayed there all night Saturday, but on Sunday morning, he got up with all power in his hand. See, you got to be washed to tell the story. You got to be washed to speak with conviction. And when God clean you up, you can tell folks, created me a clean heart and renew the right spirit within me and purge me with this that I might be whiter than snow. So you can laugh at me, you can talk about me, you can scandalize my name, but I got a God that has cast my sins as far as the east is from the west. And when it's all over, you may have a place for me, but I can hear him say, come on up, little honey, you've been faithful over a few things. I'm gonna make you rule over me. See, some of you, when you get there, you want to see mama. Some of you want to see big mama. Some of you want to see your old friend. Some of you want to see your boyfriend, your girlfriend. But when I get to heaven, I don't want to even see Peter at the pearly gates. But when I get there, I want to see Jesus for myself. Because everybody else let me down every night and then. But I got a Jesus that told me I never leave you, nor would I forsake you. So when I see Jesus, I just want to take him out of power to give. They're telling